Welcome to the VeroScope forensic analysis of Stephanie Lazarus, who was an LAPD detective. And the case is about the murder of Sherri Rasmussen. The interview took place in February 2009. And this is the lady who we will be analysing. She was in the end found guilty. It's an interesting case because she was an LAPD former detective, and she murdered Sherri Rasmussen on February the 24th, 1986. So it was a cold case, and it was a crime that was driven by jealousy. It was essentially a murder of jealousy because her partner had got together with Sherri Rasmussen, and she was harassing Sherri. She went to her apartment and her place of work numerous times. Sherri was only 29. She was a hospital nursing director, and she was recently married to John Rutten, who is Stephanie Lazarus's ex. It was a brutal murder. Sherri was beaten, hit over the head, they believe, with a vase because the vase was broken. She was bitten on her arm, which is where they eventually got the DNA, which suggested that the attacker was a woman. And so that led the cold case detectives to think about what Sherri's father-in-law had first suggested, and had pointed the police to this rookie police officer at the time. But because Stephanie Lazarus had staged the apartment, she had staged it to be burglarized. There were electronics stacked up on the stairs. Sherri's BMW car was taken, her purse was taken, but certain things didn't fit the crime scene. Valuables like jewelry were left behind, and also the missing car, when it was found, it wasn't stripped, it wasn't looted. And so Stephanie used her police training to stage the scene, but due to the cognitive stress of the murder, she didn't do it perfectly and left her DNA behind. So let's have a little look at the actual interrogation. For those who have been following along on the training of forensic linguistics and statement analysis, we're going to be doing this video slightly differently because you should be more advanced by now. This is an interesting case because the speed of deception is rapid, but it pretty much ticks every single box. So we're going to have a quick look at the
Stephanie, I don't know if you know
video.
my partner.
Hey,
great.
Hi.
Stars, nice to
Yeah,
meet
see
you.
you guys.
How's it going?
Good.
Milling around. Well, have a seat. This is I didn't want to bring this up in your squadron. Oh, no, it's fine.
So they've brought Stephanie Lazarus into an interview room rather than talk to her in the squadron. But really, it's a ruse, I believe, to get her into this room and possibly without her weapon on her. And we'll be looking at this interview at length. But first, we're going to run through some of the forensic linguistics so that I'm going to show you in advance what to look for. And then as you watch the interview, you can see if you can pick them up at conversational speed. And learning to pick up deception at conversational speed is important because in your own personal lives, whether it's with relationships or whether it's at work or whether perhaps it's with suppliers, being able to tell if you're being deceived, even if it's only slight deception, is a very useful skill. So picking up the ability to spot deception at conversational speed is something that we're going to be working on now that we've done 25 videos, where we went through reasonably slowly. We're now going to start picking things up and see if we can get that skill level to conversational speed. So things to look out for. She says, I mean, a lot, and she has real-time story editing. She doesn't have the complete social introduction, which in statement analysis we look for complete social introductions. We have the pattern of three. If you have a chance to read Mark McClish's work on statement analysis, he introduces the idea that the number 3 is very often used in deception. We have past tense intrusions. For instance, he's bothering me. So, present tense rather. So she goes for what is over 20 years ago, and she brings it into the present tense. And lots of different other markers, which we'll run through once we've watched the actual video. And we might quickly run through 16 or so other things to look out for. The hospital confrontation energy explosion. So when we get to here, look out for this. We have pronoun deterioration sequences. If you have a chance, do pause the video where you can read in more detail. But for those that want to get on with the analysis, I'll go quickly. She has a lot of this because so sensitivity cluster, reasons why, which we mark in blue. Look out for those. She attempts unity language with the victim post-crime. Look out for this at conversational speed. She also has a slight victim blame architecture. We look for victim blaming. So she's blaming not only her, but her ex as well. We have lots of missing time during the murder period. We have impossible knowledge chains, which she at first denies. We've got memory inversion patterns. So she has perfect recall for certain sections, and where it doesn't serve her, extremely vague recall. This is very common. And we have a whole hedged admission cascade. So what may have, maybe, could have been, it's constant. And so abnormal, but unless you're looking for it, you can miss it. We have competition admission architecture. Why are you calling me if you're either dating her or living with her or married to her? So look out for that section. And present consciousness bleeding. So here's interesting. She says, now I'm thinking. So she's not recalling, she's strategizing what to say. It's very subtle, but you'll hear it. Now I'm thinking. And we have lots of impossibility clustering at the crime scene. So let's carry on with the actual interrogation and try to pick up as many of those as you can.
I think we're good.
Have the recorder to let me just turn it off. You're going to bring somebody in, right?
Yeah, well, I can explain the whole thing
That's
too. I don't want to talk about this in the squadron because
okay.
I don't know who people are listening.
That's true.
And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing.
No problem.
Okay, but like we're talking about being busy and stuff. We've been assigned a case that we've been looking at.
Okay.
It's a new case, and reviewing the case, there's some notes to see as far as your name being mentioned.
Okay.
Do you know John Rutten?
John Rutten. John Rutten?
Rutten.
Oh yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Gosh, I went to school in, let's see, went to UCLA in 1978 I started, and, you know, met him at school at the dorms.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there, some of the statements we reviewed, you know, there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends. Lived in the dorms for 2 years.
You guys lived in the same dorm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dykstra.
Okay. Were you guys just friends or anything else, or?
Yeah, we were good friends.
Yeah. Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know her?
Not really. I mean, I knew that he got married years ago.
Did you ever meet her?
God, I don't know.
Do you know who she was or anything?
Well, let me think. God, it's been a long time ago. I may have met her. Geez, you know.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Let me ask you. You said you dated John. How long did you guys date?
I mean, well, are you guys? Is this something? I mean, you said I was going to interview somebody about art, and how you guys are.
Here's
I mean,
Stephanie. Here's the situation. Is basically, we knew that this, when we saw this in this chrono, that maybe there was some relationship there. That's what the chrono seemed to indicate, and we didn't want to come up to you at your desk and ask those kinds of questions or do anything. You know how up there people can see what's going on if you go into an interview room or people are in there getting supplies.
Okay. I mean,
so we wanted to afford you some privacy, some confidentiality to talk about this, because we thought it might be, something, you're married to someone else, obviously, and so forth, and that you may not want to, talk about these things in that setting where someone, we don't want the rumor mill or gossip or any of that kind of stuff to start.
That's fine. I mean,
so we did this just as a means to try and speak to you in just a confidential place where where your business isn't out there for other people in your division to know about.
God, that's been a million years ago. I mean,
Very quickly, for those who have been following the Adelson case, she also mentions, when asked if she was involved in the murder, and she said, never in a million years. It's quite a common deceptive marker. So if you think carefully about what she said, is in 1,000,001 years, she would have been involved in the murder. And here we have Stephanie Lazarus using the 1,000,000 years ago technique, which she uses 4 times in total.
What year is it now? 2009? I mean, I graduated in 82. 82, yeah. We dated. I dated other guys. I'm sure he dated other girls.
Well, let me ask you, roughly how long would you say you guys dated?
Oh, jeez. I couldn't even say. I mean, I started school there in 78. I started UCLA in 1978. I graduated in 82. I don't even remember what year he graduated, if it was a year or two before me.
Okay.
I think he was a little bit older than I was. I mean, I can't remember if he was born, let's say I'm born in 1960. I don't know if he was born in 58 or 59. I mean, I knew his parents. I knew his sister. His brother went to Northridge. His sister spent the night at my house before. Obviously, I spent the night at his house before. He probably spent the night at my house before.
Bear in mind, when she was first asked if she knew him, she deliberately mispronounced his name, and it was all very vague. And suddenly, she knows an awful lot, doesn't she?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because from what you're telling me is you guys dated while you were in college together, right?
Yeah, and probably after college. I can't. Geez, trying to think when I met my husband. I met my husband when did I meet Scott?
This is a common deceptive marker. They go off into irrelevancies. This gives them a kind of security blanket where they can talk about things which are completely irrelevant. So we look for percentages of statements which are nothing to do with the actual event. And if we have too much of the percentage of the statement, nothing to do with the event, and we see it as abnormal, we note it. It should be 25% before the event, 50% of the event, and 25% after the event. And in deceptive statements, we'll often see as high as 75% preamble, 20% the event, and then 5% after the event. In other words, they want to get out of the deception as fast as possible. So watch for the percentages that somebody uses.
Let's see. Teaching DARE, because I met Scott when I was teaching DARE up in Oregon, but we had long stopped, dating before that.
So you haven't talked to him for a long time?
Oh, I think I haven't talked to him in a long time. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I talked to him. I met Scott, I'm thinking in 92 maybe, April of 92. It was
Scott being your husband.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was teaching DARE. Let's see, what year is this? We'll be married. I got married in 1996. think I met Scott in 92.
There we have the first I'm trying to think versus I'm trying to recall or I'm trying to remember. She's using cognition. She's been waiting for this interview for over 2 decades as the violent murderer. And being a detective herself, she's been preparing for this interview.
Prior to that, I couldn't tell you how long I had talked to John prior to that.
But since you met your husband, Scott, you hadn't talked to him?
I mean, he may have called me once or twice before we got married.
Right.
You know, geez, I moved to Simi in 1994 because I lost my house in the earthquake.
Oh, really?
Quite honestly, I probably keep in contact with a few people from the dorms. We all lived on the 10th floor, and there's about 3 or 4 people I keep in contact with. There's probably like 6 or 8 of us that were all really close.
Mm-hmm. And who are those people?
This is a technique people use in deception. They show you that they're really struggling to recall, but they're trying to recall. But this will be about irrelevancies. It's a good deceptive marker. And when it comes to the important parts, they don't do this. They deny or try to move on. Intricate help in irrelevancies is a deceptive marker in its own right to look out for.
Oh, geez. Diana Basta, the people I still keep. I haven't been in contact with her in a long time. I mean, what's it all about?
Look at the cognitive overload. If we analyze that in written form of the statement, huge cognitive overload as she's panicking inside, her life's at stake.
I mean,
well, let me ask you, what ended the relationship between you and John?
You know, it was kind of a weird relationship. I mean, we dated. I can't say that he was my boyfriend. I don't know that he would consider me his girlfriend. We dated. We did things. I played sports in college. He played basketball. His brother played basketball. We just, it just didn't work out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It was like I went out with other guys, saw other guys. I went on lots of vacations. And
once you guys split, were you guys still friends, or kind of, problems?
I mean,
is it friendly, not friendly?
No, I don't think it was not friendly. I mean, we were friendly. I know that we went to Hawaii.
So here she can't swallow. Here she's gone to the back of her head. So she's showing signs of forensic linguistic cognitive load. And here we have the first real matching body language to that cognitive load.
At one point, another friend of mine who's actually dying right now went to Hawaii with us at some point.
Remember roughly when that was?
Oh, geez. Let me think. I'd have to check my pictures. Or I'd say I'd ask Greg, but my friend Greg is like dying of liver cancer right now. Yeah, I mean,
And you were saying that
it's 2009 now.
Had you ever met his wife?
I may have.
Do you remember her name or anything, or? Or what she did for a living, or where she worked, or anything about her?
Well, I think I'm going to say that I think she was a nurse.
Okay, so interesting, isn't it? That no recall. I think she was a nurse.
Man, I can't remember how he said he met her. I mean, it's been so long ago.
Well, let me ask you, did you go to their wedding,
No, I didn't go to their wedding. No, did not go to their wedding. I couldn't even tell you what year he got married. I mean, it's been a million years ago.
You ever remember if you ever
There's her second million years. So as the detectives make her comfortable with admitting that she knows her, she forgets that she at first denied hardly knowing even her name. Huge deception marker.
Because it seems like a lot of you who were at the school at UCLA, you guys kind of were friends during and after school, so I don't know if you guys still associated afterwards once he was married or anything.
With him?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I would say, the people that were on the dorm floor, we'd have get-togethers. There's probably like 4 or 5. I don't think he ever came. I don't think, no, it was...
Incidentally, Sherri had an enormous amount of defensive wounds. She was fighting for her life. She'd been smashed over the head with a vase. She'd been bitten. She was shot 3 times with a .38 revolver. And extreme violence at the scene.
It was mostly girls, a girl named Smita, Diane. There's 2 Dianes, but the one Diane, I don't think she ever came. I kind of lost contact with her. We were good friends on the floor. I don't, again, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated a million years ago.
Well, do you know what happened to his wife?
Yeah, I know she got killed.
Oh, you do?
What did you hear about that?
I saw a poster at work. I'm sure I spoke to him about it. I think I spoke to another friend of his about it.
And how did you first learn about that?
Jeez. Someone could have called me. I could have heard it at work. I think at one point there may have been a flyer or something. I know a good friend of his...
Were you on the job back then when that happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure I was on the job. That's why I would have heard about it with the flyer. He had a good friend, Mike Boldrick, anyways, he may have lived in the dorms. I don't remember if that's how I met him. I may have talked to him. I mean, I don't remember how I heard. I mean, I don't even remember what year it was.
And you think you said you thought his wife was a nurse. Do you have any idea where she was working at the time, or did he ever mention that to you? Was it a hospital or a doctor's office?
I'm sure he must have mentioned it. Now that you're bringing that up, I think she worked at a hospital somewhere. And yeah, I may have met her at a hospital. I may have talked to her once or twice.
At a hospital?
Or more.
But being that you were you used to see John, was everything okay between you guys? I mean, there was never anything uncomfortable or anything between you and her?
I don't know. I mean, it's been so many years. I mean, uncomfortable. I mean, I can't even remember if we had a conversation. I mean, we may have. I may have seen her at his apartment. Geez, how many years ago was that? I don't even know what year she, got killed.
Where was his apartment?
On Roscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, Roscoe and
So notice that she goes into the comfort of now trying to remember something to give the impression that she's trying. This is a constant pattern of hers and a very, very common deceptive marker.
East or west of DeSoto, either east or west of DeSoto.
Do you know where he moved after? Did he move after he got married, or do you know? Or
I'm sure he did.
Did you know where he was living, or
somewhere in the valley?
Did you ever visit him and his wife?
No.
No, never went out to, get together, dinners, anything of that nature?
No. Like I said, his sister used to come over. His sister had come to my place. I knew his brother because his brother played basketball at Northridge. In fact, I was just coming across some pictures that I had just scanned from. I take a lot of photos, like 10,000, and I just did a service.
So photos are sensitive to her. This is the second time that she's mentioned the photos, and she's brought it into the statement herself.
Where I scanned everything. And I'd seen some pictures of his brother playing basketball.
Well, you just put them all on your computer so you could have them accessible and do things with them?
Well, my partner is a big photo thing, and he had a deal to scan. So I spent a ton of time just scanning photos. I mean, I paid a company to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got photos of, I mean, his brother, his sister, you know, of
10,000 pictures?
Oh yeah.
How long did that take them?
Months.
Now, what do they put that on a? I'm just curious myself. Do they put it on a? They get that all on one DVD? They don't need like a hard drive or anything?
No. There's like, I think 11 DVDs. Yeah, I don't even have time.
Oh, it's a series of DVDs that they put them on?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got.
I'm not that familiar with computer stuff, so
yeah.
that's why I was asking.
It's like 11 DVDs.
Oh, okay.
So 2 decades later, she's looking at thousands of photographs. She's obsessed.
No, I haven't had a chance to go through them. You could go through and pick which ones you don't want. I don't have time to do that.
Right.
You know, so like you said, you know, I don't think we ever socialized. You know, he'd still call me. I can't say that I would. I mean, if he's married, I don't know that I would have called him. I mean, maybe. Who knows? You know, I don't know. It's been a million years ago.
There we have victim
How long
blaming.
was John married before his wife died?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea.
And after his wife died, did you talk to him again or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I did talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him, probably his parents, probably some other friends. You know, I'm sure I talked to him.
Yeah.
But you're not sure where he moved to after he got married?
No idea. I mean,
Never went over to visit him or
I don't think.
meet
I
his
mean, I
wife
don't think so. I mean,
Have you noticed everything's maybe, might have, could have done, I don't think so's, perhaps so's, becauses? It's fast, but it's the pattern that we've all come to learn.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I did. I mean, I know he lived on Roscoe for a long, long time. I mean, I may know. I mean, he may have told me where they lived, somewhere in the valley. I mean, he may have said I lived over such and such, but I couldn't tell you specifically where.
But you don't remember specifically ever going over to visit him or visit them and wherever he moved when he left Roscoe?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't think so, but
okay.
You know, I don't want to say no, I don't think so, and then he says, oh yeah, she came over for something, dropped something off. You know, I don't know.
So if you did go over there, just be like a quick thing, like you're saying, drop something off, or
maybe.
But you don't remember as far as like going there to have dinner or like a social, anything at the house, party?
Well, if you guys know something, I can't, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, but
after John's wife died, you said you may have been talking to him. Did your relationship start up again?
I would say no.
The I would say pattern.
Again, can you give me a year? I mean, this is like 2009.
She died in 1986?
yeah, I think it was 86.
1986.
Okay. Like I said, I'm faintly remembering that I went to Hawaii with my friend Greg. Greg and I got certified for scuba diving.
Safe ground.
And I'm thinking that John met us there, meaning Greg and I. That could have been. I got certified toward the end of '88.
Notice how she goes back to safe ground of the diving and the scuba diving, because meeting her ex in Hawaii is not safe ground. So she immediately retreated to the safe ground of talking about scuba diving and emphasizing that she was there with her friend.
Or, I mean, 88, 89.
Irrelevancies.
Because I got recertified again, and it had been like over 10 years. So I got recertified. My husband and I got recertified. And I'm pretty sure that John met us there. Again, I'd have to tell you what year it was. I'd have to look at my pictures. You know, and other than that, I can't even say. He may have called me, you know, at my home.
So everything's I would say, I can't even say, maybes, could haves, possiblies, maybes, can't remembers, it's a million years ago. The pattern, once you know it, is unmistakable.
I may have called him. I
May
don't
have called
think
him. I don't
he got
think.
together with our group.
I don't think after his wife's death.
Or even before, I don't. You know, we went to
Self-censor.
weddings together. You know,
Irrelevancies.
I've got pictures. Like I
I've
said,
got
I
pictures,
couldn't tell
safe
you
ground.
years.
It's been a million
ago.
years.
After he got married or whatever, were you dating anybody in particular?
And that was what year? 1986, you said?
I think he got married in around 85, 86, something like that.
Okay, this is her first attempt to take control and ask her own questions, apart from what's this all about.
Were you seeing anyone seriously, or?
God, I couldn't say.
I couldn't say.
Geez, I'm trying to think. I mean,
Geez, I'm trying to think.
You know, I dated a fireman.
What was his name?
Mike Arndt. And I'm trying to think.
Was he LAFD or?
He was LAFD.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, this isn't I'm trying to remember or I'm trying to recall. This is I'm trying to think. She's slipping out at the unconscious level that internally she's desperately trying to think a way out of this situation, and she's trying to determine what do these guys know. And she's been preparing for this this time for over 2 decades.
I'm trying to think when I probably met Mike. I went to Devonshire. Let's see, I left Hollywood in 80.
Irrelevancies, safe ground irrelevancies, deceptive marker.
85, I think. And then I went to Devonshire, and that's when I met Mike and some other firemen. And
what, the station next door?
No, actually.
Because I used to work Hollywood, so I was just wondering if it was the station next door.
It was when I worked Devonshire, I met Mike.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'm trying to think. I went to Devonshire in 85.
I know you're trying to think.
I'm thinking that I would have met him probably sometime shortly after I went to Devonshire, because I actually met his buddies at a fire. And then Mike and I dated, you know, just really kind of casually. And we remained good friends.
You still in touch with him, or?
Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, really?
He died in he had a car crash. He did race cars, and he went heading into a wall. I couldn't tell you what year that was. But he passed away. He was in a coma, and they pulled the plug.
Right.
Seems like, anyway. So, you know, I couldn't even tell you what year. I'm thinking I went to Devonshire in 85, and I know I met the guys because it was kind of a funny incident of how I met them. And that's how I remember it was sometime probably 85.
Right.
You know, if you specifically, I don't even know if they remember. The other two are now married to somebody else because I kind of, all three, I mean.
Did you kind of socialize, like when you were out with Mike, did those guys come out with you too? Was it kind of like, did you do stuff with his friends? Or?
Well, there was 2 firemen, Eric and Gary. I met them first. Then they introduced me to Mike. So that's how I met Mike, and Mike and I dated.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not, I wouldn't even say, I couldn't even tell you for how long, because then it would say we decided, it wasn't working out, and we'd be better friends, and, he introduced me, I think, to some other guy.
So the amount of self-censorship is off the scale. Keep a lookout for self-censorship.
Who now is on LAPD. Randy Cordobas.
I don't think I know him.
He's a detective. He's got a twin brother who's on the fire department. That's how I met Randy, because he had a twin brother, identical twin on the fire department.
Okay.
And
wait, you and Randy
I dated him when I couldn't tell you. It was before he came on the job.
Before Randy came on the job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that was, I'm trying to remember if Mike may have. I'm trying to remember.
So we have a change of language from trying to think to now a genuine trying to remember, perhaps.
Mike may have dated a girl that he dated. Oh, God, it sounds too weird. Randy may have dated a gal that Mike was dating, and then Randy broke up with that gal, I couldn't even tell you if the gal's
Safe
name,
ground,
if I'm
irrelevancies.
even thinking of the story right. And then I started dating Randy.
Yeah.
Oh. So again, I mean, not like I was a huge
Self-censorship.
bluesy or anything, but
No, but you know, I mean, a lot of times, right? At least from my female partners that I've had, it's hard dating
Lots of I means, lots of you knows.
guys that aren't involved in kind of our circle, right? Because some guys are intimidated by women police officers.
Randy was like an engineer at the time. He was like some kind of an engineer
On a rig, on a fire truck.
No, an engineer.
A professional engineer.
Yeah, and then I think he lost a job and then came on the department.
I see.
So,
getting back to some stuff, as far as you recall, after John's wife died, did you start a relationship again with John, or dating casually, or anything like that?
Like I said, he met Greg and I in Hawaii. Okay.
That was something you guys kind of...
So, did you notice there's no reliable denial? She's asked a very direct question. Did you start a relationship up again with John? She's murdered the lady for the purpose of potentially getting John back into her life. She's invited him to Hawaii to come on holiday with her and her friend. And she's reconnected. She has not denied this.
Together, like, go as a group, or you ran into him, or...
No, I think that obviously I must have talked to him, and I said, hey, I'm going to Hawaii with my buddy Greg. We're scuba. We just got certified scuba diving. We're going to be in Hawaii. Hey, if you want to come and join us, come join us.
Right.
And I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I may have asked some other people to as well. What island did we go to? I think the Big Island in Kauai. He either met us on the Big Island or Kauai. I'm thinking of Greg and I might have...
This is another technique that deceivers introduce. They ask a question that you haven't asked and start answering it. It's a safe ground tactic.
Scuba dived a lot on the Big Island as well as Kauai. I don't remember which island. Again, I'd have to look at my pictures. I traveled a lot on my vacations. I mean, I was always gone for at least a month. And I would go places, and I would
safe ground.
Either run into people or, meet people.
And Greg, this Greg we're talking about, he was like someone you were dating, or just a buddy? Or?
No, you know what? I would say we started out probably just buddies, and either I was with somebody or he was with somebody, but it was kind of like we ended up just kind of being like brother and sister. And maybe he wanted something more, but it never worked out. But we did things together. I would consider him. I've probably known him. Let's see, I've been on the job almost 26 years. I've probably known Greg 23, 24 years.
So you still talk to him?
Oh yeah, he's dying of liver cancer right now. Yeah.
Cancer. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, I consider him a good friend. I don't know what to tell you on that.
I mean, when you heard about John's wife being killed, I mean, what was your reaction? I mean, you thought you heard about it through a friend or in a bulletin or
either
something?
A friend or a bulletin. I called the family. I called maybe some of his friends that I knew, and I mean, obviously it shocked you if I heard it at work, which I may have. I faintly remember a bulletin going around. Either that.
So she's not a good liar, but she's skilled at what she believes is skillful deception, because everything's could be's, maybes, would be's, would like to say's, ifs, might haves, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe three times. Nothing is easy to pin, and this is deliberate. And it's a technique that she's heard over the decades criminals say, and she also knows how to extract it. So she's playing the part well. She's difficult to pin down.
Or somebody called me. I also don't remember.
Right.
And then I probably called his family. I don't know.
But being difficult to pin down is a deceptive marker in its own right.
Initially, I can't say if I initially spoke to him or not. I honestly don't remember. I may have said to somebody,
I honestly
hey,
don't remember. I may have said.
And then he may have done that.
May have done that.
You know.
Self-censorship, you knows.
Do you know what the circumstances were regarding her death?
Geez, let me think back.
Let me think back is different to let me think.
I don't know if it was, if it was a burglary or something.
I don't know. Something.
I mean, it's been so many years. I can faintly think that I may have saw a flyer.
Yeah.
May have had a picture on it.
May have had a picture on it.
I may. That's why I say.
I may
if somebody
self-censor.
Called me.
Do you see? Once you see the pattern of deception, you can start to pick it up at conversational speed.
Not have known what her last name was. I may have. I mean, maybe if you told me, I would remember it.
Do you remember the first name?
Sherri.
Okay, and so here we have an immature, stupid. Let's pretend we can't even remember her first name.
I don't know, something maybe, like I said, it's been so many years, and
from all the years, as far as you can remember, do you remember ever talking to her?
Well, I said earlier, I mean, I may have, I may have talked to her.
You mentioned a hospital, maybe. You may have talked to her at a hospital.
Yeah, I may have. I'm thinking back now. You guys are bringing up all these whole memories.
No, it kind of dusts off the cuff.
I mean, geez. I'm thinking that because he would date other people, I would date other people, and I think at one point, he may have been dating her, or I don't know, maybe he was married. I don't even remember. And I'm like, why are you calling me if you're either dating her or living with her or married to her?
There we are, victim blaming. Why and why are you calling me? She goes into present tense to blame John. Why are you calling me when you're with this other lady?
Because I honestly don't remember the time frame. And I'm like, oh, come on, knock it off. And now I'm thinking I may have gone to her and say, hey, you know what? Is he dating you? He's bothering me. And so I'm thinking that we had.
So we have now the first admission that she has actually gone to her and said, he's calling me. So she's trying to break them up.
Conversation about that. One or two, maybe. It could have been three. I don't want to say.
And here we have the Mark McClish, number 3.
Had 3 conversations with her.
Like at her work or at their house or.
No, I'm thinking that he obviously must have told.
In deception, the number 3 is very, very common. 1 or 2 perhaps is unbelievable. 4 or 5 or 6 is too many. So in deception, statistically, the deceiver will often settle on the number 3.
Where she worked, I'm thinking it was a hospital somewhere in LA, and I could have been. Again, what year was that? Where was I working?
Notice she asks herself the question, pretending as if she's helping, but really she's buying cognitive time. This is a skill in itself. So she asks herself a question, pretends to think about the answer, but really what's happening inside her head is the wheels are spinning and she's thinking. She's thinking, how the hell am I going to get out of this room and out of this situation? And hopefully it will all settle down and I'll be re-interviewed in another decade or so. That's what's really happening. That's why she's introduced this fake question and pretending to think about that.
I'm trying to think of where. When did you say they got married?
Then she abandons.
I don't know. I think it was like in 85 or 86 or something like that. You know, we just kind of picked this up. We don't know a lot about it.
This is acting for safe ground, and really she's thinking about entirely different subjects altogether, about how to get the hell out of here.
I mean, I could have been working in Hollywood, it sounds like, if that's where I was working. So I could have said, okay, well, and I went and talked to her, and just said, hey, you know what, if he's dating you, he keeps
boom. So now she decides to say, well, actually, I went to talk to her, and I said, hey, if he's dating you,
calling me, why don't you tell him to knock it off or whatever, and because I probably would have told him to knock it off.
You would have told John.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would have said, hey, and again.
But you wanted to tell her too. You wanted them both to know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting her called, and I'm faintly remembering when.
The beating, by the way, was extensive. So the defensive wounds were extensive. And in the end, she shot with the .38 through a large amount of blanket coverings to disguise the noise. 3 times.
Scott moved in with me in 1993, sometime in 93, because I met Scott in April of 92. I was teaching DARE up in Oregon. And he moved down. In fact, he may have moved down in 92. 92 or 93. There was the big earthquake. No, when was the big earthquake? No, 94.
94, yeah.
So I think Scott might have moved in 93, sometime in 93. Excuse me. I haven't had my breakfast yet. And so, excuse me. And so I faintly recall that John may have called a few times, and I'm like, hey, I've got. He goes, oh, can you talk or something? I'm like, no, I can't talk. I've got, I'm living with somebody.
Right.
And that could have been a few times. It could have been once. Could have been twice. Could have been 3 times. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of part 1 of this series. We might as well have a look at the. By the way, we use a map key. If you have a chance to pause the video and look in more details as to what each of these symbols mean. And here we have the repetitive stress patterns of the million years ago, million years ago, million years ago, million years ago. I won't go through the entire transcript because it'll probably be boring for you. But if we see if we can look at the patterns rather than read the actual words, or if you wish, you can pause the video slowly and read the actual words. But we start to see the extensive use of pronouns and the extensive or the beginnings of the minimizations. And we begin to see the stress build with the thinks and the may-haves, the basicallys, the maybes, the extensive yous, you knows. It's an unusual pattern. We don't see this in truthful statements to this degree. Here we can see, by looking at the patterns, we can see cognitive stress overload sprinkled with these types of words. If we went into more detail, we would also see a lot of sensitivity. Those are similar words in the same paragraph or statement. We would mark those in pink if I had the time. Reasons why we mark in blue. So we start to see the pattern build. This is why we mark up, because we can quite quickly see just how deceptive a statement is. Just, kind ofs. Lots of you knows, lots of maybes, lots of yous. Patterns we don't see in innocent statements. The thinks, the kind ofs, the probablys, the thinks, the million years ago. Here we look out for time gaps, so we mark those in green. Interesting, isn't it? How just by marking up a document, we can begin to see some of the deceptive markers. Yeah, look at this. The statement transcript won't be perfect, but it's mainly correct. Sometimes the transcript confuses some of the words that the detective might be asking and puts them into what Lazarus is saying. But essentially, it's correct. Yeah, lots of kind ofs, lots of becauses, lots of maybes, lots of so's, lots of thinks, lots of you knows, lots of sometimes, lots of justs, probablys, kind ofs, maybes. This is all essentially building in optionality because she's unaware of what they know, and so she's constantly not giving them any information voluntarily, but instead, but she can't be caught in a lie, so she uses this optionality type of language. Similar patterns that we see in certain politicians. They build in huge amounts of optionality. Here she's asked about the name, isn't she? Sherri, I don't know, something, maybe, you know. So this pattern is her deceptive pattern. It's been so many years, and this is a good case study because it literally allows you to build conversational deceptive analysis skills quite rapidly. If you listen to this video once or twice, the second time that you listen to it, especially if you've taken the time to slow this transcript down and read it and look at the markers, so that when you listen to it again, you hear it. And it means that when you hear similar patterns from people who are trying to deceive you, you'll pick it up. Yeah, the hospital confrontation. And now I'm thinking I may sensitivity have gone to her and say, hey, you know what? This is increasing in anger. Is he dating you? He's bothering me. You can imagine how when she went, she was essentially harassing her and stalking her. You can imagine the horror when it turned violent. And this is a cop attacking you, biting you, smashing you over the head with a vase, beating you, and then eventually pulling out a revolver, wrapping it in huge amounts of cloth and shooting you for the first time. And then again, and then again. Quite horrific. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this analysis, part one. We'll continue the interview in part two, where the deception continues and eventually the police officers who are interrogating her make the arrest. Okay, look forward to speaking with you in the comments.